Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news. We're about to hear from U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley, who is announcing federal charges for criminal actions that took place during the May 30th riots in downtown Fargo. He's speaking in front of the federal courthouse right now, so let's listen in.
Taking place at the same time on that date. If you have any questions, we'd be glad to try to address those right now. I should tell you too that the judge set there's a hearing this Friday. It's going to be at 2:00 p.m. Mr. Lee moved for detention on this case. We're seeking to detain the defendant until his trial, which has currently been set for November 17th here in federal court in Fargo.
Why is he being charged now, not Friday?
Okay, I think I caught.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Why is he being charged now, months later? And
Okay.
at the same time as Polo? Why not?
Very good question. As people saw that day watching news accounts and other accounts, many of the people out there were wearing face coverings, and there's difficulties sometimes with identification. Also, I want to compliment our investigative agencies on this, and this is very important. I hope that the people of this area know how hard law enforcement is working to go through thousands of hours of videos, still photographs from news accounts, from Facebook accounts, other social media, or things that were being passed around, evidence that has been developed in the case. Fargo Police has done a magnificent job. The FBI, working hand in glove with our state and local partners, I can't compliment them enough. They're culling through all of these materials, and the identification of the individuals involved, and that we present to the grand jury. It was just, there was a space and time there between those identifications that were made, and they were presented to the grand jury on different dates. Grand jury doesn't sit every day or every week, and so we kind of have to go by that schedule as well. But again, I want to compliment Fargo Police in particular in this matter, working hand in glove with our federal agency, the FBI, who is the lead on this on the federal side of thing. And I cannot compliment Fargo Police enough. Working with the Sheriff's Department here in Cass County, also our counterparts over in Clay County and surrounding counties, both in their response that day during the riots and the uprising. They were incredibly professional. They showed a lot of restraint, and as a result, we had dozens of injuries to law enforcement on that day. And as we pointed out in this remains, even now, very much an ongoing and active investigation. I made the pledge that we will charge every provable federal case, and this is a continuation of that. Tomorrow, Richard and another lawyer from our office and the investigators are continuing this investigation by go through some of the additional findings. And I put that out there just to let people know this remains very, very active and will until we get through all of those materials. Our state counterparts have been terrific going through the federal statutes, the elements of those offenses, and whether they can prove it, and then whether we can find people who are identifiable through a variety of means.
I have two questions. Was this initially a state case? My second question, is your office getting communication from the Department of Justice encouraging you to take these cases federal?
This particular matter was not charged in state court first. Could have been, though. There are applicable state statutes would be applicable as well, but it was not charged at first in state court. To the question of whether the Department of Justice is encouraging us, very much so. And but I'll tell you one thing, I needed zero encouragement. I was 4 blocks from here on the night of the riot itself, walking with my oldest daughter. We could smell the pepper gas and everything else going on downtown here. We knew what was going on. We were watching news accounts, and we were involved from the very earliest hours. I was on the phone with my state and local counterparts later that night with the governor of North Dakota, with the National Guard and others, and letting them understand that.
All right, you're listening to U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley talking about criminal charges related to the May 30th riots. We will have much more on this story tonight at 6 and 10. New tonight at 5, look for a new push to get you to wear a mask. The idea surfaced today during a pandemic update in the Fargo-Moorhead Metro. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard is live in studio for us with details on the mask campaign. Callie?
Andrea, the idea of a mask campaign could be an attempt to get people to voluntarily use them, see how they respond before there's any reconsideration of a mandate in Fargo. The local push to get you to cover up will go along with the statewide Mask Up North Dakota campaign. Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney says the Red River Valley Task Force will be partnering with local athletic teams, health systems, and you to better give an understanding of why masking up is so important.
At this current moment, masking is the quickest and simplest way for most people to protect themselves and one another. We'd like to drive the numbers on this virus down over the next 2 weeks, and we have evidence it does work.
Both Essentia and Sanford hospitals are reporting the highest level of COVID-19 patients since May. Clay County Public Health reports a rise in cases this month in 18 to 22-year-olds as people are not following CDC guidelines like before. On another matter, there's been some problems with contact tracers. The state's epidemiologist stressed the importance of being nice to them. He says that if you are asked questions about being exposed to COVID-19, you should tell the truth and cooperate. Andrea?
All right. Thanks, Callie. To stay up to date with the latest on the upcoming mask campaign, go ahead and download our VNL News app. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers in the area. North Dakota is reporting 447 new cases in the state, along with 8 new deaths. That brings the death toll to 246 people. In Minnesota, the state reports 689 new cases, along with 16 new deaths. 2,036 people have died in the state. We're counting today as a great day, right? Because we know what's ahead of us. No laughing over there, Hutch. Let's get more on this evening's forecast with Hutch. You gotta stay
love
positive.
your positive attitude. That glass of milk is indeed half full. Thanks, Andrea. We do have a few showers showing up in the distance as we look across the river into Minnesota. And as we head into our evening, it's cold and it's windy. Here's a look at those showers. A couple of rumbles of thunder in Becker County, as well as northern parts of the Otter Tail County area, not far from you in Perham. So passing showers continue. Cannot rule them out in Fargo, but they're more likely in Grand Forks and points north and points east into Minnesota. Wind advisory until 7 o'clock. We have had gusts approaching 50 miles per hour in our area. It's going to taper down a little, but not a lot. We'll still have gusts into the late night hours, over 25 miles per hour as temperatures slip into the 40s. Andrea, we've given you a first alert about Friday morning's cold temperatures, but let me tell you about something. Last week we talked about a chance of flakes on Thursday morning up north. I'll detail you on some SNOW here in just a couple of MOMENTS.
Yeah. Thanks, Hutch, for that. A woman is facing felony theft charges for allegedly stealing nearly $25,000 from the East Grand Forks VFW. 38-year-old Kathleen Pfaff was a bookkeeper at the VFW. Authorities say from February 2019 to March of this year, staff noticed money was consistently missing from the till. The ATM was also not loaded with the correct amount of cash. Police confronted her at work about the missing money. She will be back in court next month. A missing Minnesota man from the Itasca area who was discovered yesterday was found dead along a lakeshore. 29-year-old Jeremiah Uti was reported missing on Sunday. Police say they used canines and volunteers to find the body along the shoreline of Lake Pogama in the area where Uti was last seen. Fargo police want you to know about a high-risk sex offender who has registered his address in the metro. Sean Johnston lives at 734 College Street North. He was convicted in 2017 of corrupt solicitation of a minor in Grand Forks County. He forced a 17-year-old female to have sex with him. Johnston was also convicted of the exact same thing in the same county back in 2013. High-risk offenders are considered the most likely to reoffend. Police need your help finding a missing 13-year-old boy from Breckenridge. The city posted on Facebook saying police are searching for Maxim after he didn't come home from school yesterday. They are considering him a runaway. So if you have any information, call Breckenridge Police at the number on your screen. The two presidential candidates are hitting the campaign trail today, a day after their first messy presidential debate. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
The first presidential debate was marked by chaos, personal insults, and interruptions, more than 70 of them.
Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just want to make sure.
You're the liar.
The two candidates sparred over health care.
He wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
What is the Trump health care plan?
Well, first of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him. I'm cutting drug prices.
They also clashed over the economy and the coronavirus.
People want their schools open. They don't want to be shut down.
You can't fix the economy until you fix the COVID crisis.
President Trump denied a New York Times report that he paid only $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017.
I paid millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars of income tax.
Show us your tax returns.
I went. You'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it.
One of the most striking moments of the debate was President Trump's response when asked if he would condemn white supremacy groups.
Who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
Members of the far-right self-described Western chauvinist group were listening. They quickly added Mr. Trump's words to their logo.
He is refusing to condemn white supremacy. Why is that so hard for the President of the United States?
Well, I think he has. I mean, I've been in press conferences when he has. I mean, I've seen him say it repeatedly. So, he's condemned many white supremacist groups.
President Trump returns to the campaign trail tonight with a rally in Minnesota. Democratic nominee Joe Biden has begun a train tour of Ohio and Pennsylvania, two critical battleground states. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
According to a CBS News poll, nearly 70% of respondents found last night's matchup annoying. 17% said they found it informative. We'll have to wait another week to hear audio recordings from the grand jury in the Breonna Taylor case. A judge has approved the Attorney General's request for a 1-week extension to redact from the recordings any personal and identifying information of witnesses, private citizens, and jurors. This comes after a juror in the case filed a court motion calling for the release of audio and transcripts and permission to speak freely about the case. The grand jury audio recording is said to be more than 20 hours long. Airline workers are worried they won't have a paycheck or health insurance tomorrow. What needs to happen so they keep their jobs is next on Valley News Live at 5.
Gusty wind across the valley, particularly in our western counties where Carrington approached 50 miles per hour. Hold on to your hat. Wind. Temperatures in the 50s and low 60s today. Hey, the fall colors are at least looking pretty fair. I'll have details on your hour-by-hour forecast on flakes and chill next.